When I wrote Christmas in the Valley, which is all of 24 years ago, I had no idea that the song was going to still be around today. It was written for a small television program. It was just a 7-minute item about a choir in Chelsea, Quebec. And I wrote the song in 10 minutes. We performed the song with the choir, had a ball, said goodbye to them, said goodbye to the song, figured that was the end of it. It was Don Atfield who was the producer of the television show I was doing at the time, called Country Report. And Don had this wonderful vision that he wanted to tell stories in both the spoken word and some songwriting. So we were approaching Christmas, as I recall. There was a wonderful choir Don wanted to profile called the Castan Choir, and this was a group up in the Gatineau. I went home and I was really quite inspired to do it because it was the first time I'd ever written a Christmas song. It was really different. My first Christmas song. And I sat down and I remember picking up the guitar and just thinking what Christmas was all about. And I saw sleigh bells ringing because I always associated sleigh bells, the sound of sleigh bells, with Christmas. So it was sleigh bells ringing in the snow. It was kissing 'neath the mistletoe. I had all these visions go by. So the song for me came together very, very quickly. It was it's one of those songs that you write, I think, maybe once in your lifetime. I just sat down, the words just spilled it. I've had that happen with a couple of other songs, but this one in particular. And the words just spilled out. I almost didn't have to write them down because every line was so meaningful to me. It was like a photographic image. Each line had this imagery. And at the end of my session, I had written a song. Oh, the valley lights will shine so bright. It was really a wonderful night because I remember going to the church and the choir was there ready to sing my song. And I mean, you write a song and then you bring it and suddenly there's an entire choir singing it with you. And it was the most wonderful feeling. Kissing me the mistletoe, out in the barn, the cattle low. It's Christmas in the valley. And everybody liked it and I loved hearing what I heard. And that was the very first kind of ear that we had for it, aside from the night I wrote it. And then from there, it became part of this piece on the Castan Choir. It was a television production about them. The song was just a vehicle to celebrate Christmas in the Valley. And then we kind of forgot about it. So then I get a phone call from Ted Daigle at the CKBY FM radio station. Ted says, "What's the Christmas song everybody is phoning the station asking me for that you did?" I said, "Christmas song." He said, "Do you have an album?" I said, "No." "Oh," I said, "I sang a Christmas song on the television show and it was called Christmas in the Valley." He said, "I want to talk to you."
And as luck would have it, one Christmas, I think it was back in 1982 or 83, we got a number of calls at the station about a song that they'd heard someplace other than the station I was working at CKBY. I think they heard it on the CBC. And chasing it down, they were looking to find or purchase a copy of a song called Christmas in the Valley. Wasn't even aware of it. Chased it down, found out you were the singer and the writer. And it's been 20 years, but I think my memory is still pretty good. I remember you worked the clubs, I worked the clubs, getting home after working till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Takes you a little while to come down.
Indeed it do.
And I remember calling you and inviting you.
At 2 in the morning?
Yeah, inviting you to breakfast. I
remember that call.
Do you remember that call?
I remember that call. I thought you were out of your mind. It was 2 in the morning and you said, "Meet me for breakfast."
Yeah, invited you to breakfast at our studios on Kent Street in downtown Ottawa. And he said that I remember you saying, Ted, I don't know how to tell you this, but we just finished doing a gig, and 7:30 is awfully early for a musician to be up.
You know what's even crazier about this story?
Yeah.
I made it.
I know.
I was there.
Yeah.
I remember that meeting like it was yesterday. Ted was so excited. He had this concept in his head to produce a radio series based on the title of my song. He wanted to call it Christmas in the Valley with Wayne Rostad and Friends. The friends would be Valley artists who would come in, share their Christmas experiences, and sing a song live on the radio. Well, I thought that was a wonderful idea.
I remember inviting you to be the host of the show, hiring one of the nicest people and one of the most talented people in town, Ted Giroux, to be in the studio and produce the series. First of all, we're just talking about radio, and I just very clearly remember saying nothing is to be chased in the studio other than exactly what happens as you're performing the material. It's got to sound like a radio show that's happening at the moment. The interviews, the singing, has to be done as if it were a real radio show.
Just the spontaneity that people feel when you're playing in a room with everyone else. It's this magical moment. You've got to do it right at that moment. You've got to be at your best. But it's not so much pressure as it is fun.
We went to air for 1984. So in 1984, we put together the first radio show. Great success for CKBY. Turns out a lot more calls again for Christmas in the Valley and then other songs that the other artists did. Well, we started joking maybe that, hey, there's probably an album here, and the next minute there was no more joking. There was an album here. There was a very special album here of a whole bunch of artists from the Valley who suddenly we all gravitated to, well, we can put out an album, but let's do it all for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. So we all gave up our rights, all our mechanical rights, we all just let them go. And CKBY got the front money to get the thing launched, and then released an album called Christmas in the Valley, Volume 1, bravely, because they expected if it went well, there'd be Volume 2, because there were a lot of Valley artists that didn't get on the first album.
We struck a deal with Mac's convenience stores, who had a great number of locations throughout Ottawa and the Valley, so it was very easy to promote in there. You'd say it just the one time, and the people knew exactly where to stop and buy a copy of the album. And they were in wholeheartedly with this project. We pressed 5,000. That was the initial pressing, and I think we sold out in something like 36 hours. And
well, I forgot that.
Yeah, and,
wow.
and the folks were so nice at the stores. They agreed to go well above and beyond by going as far as taking phone numbers of people if they would wait for a second pressing. And we're talking late in the season here, and we phoned the manufacturers, and they bent over backwards to press another 5 for us. So Volume 1 sold 10,000 copies that year.
3 days after the record was released, he called me again. He said, we're sold out. We sold 7,000 records in 3 days. That was magic to me. He says, we're outselling Bruce Springsteen. This is incredible.
And with the album came the vehicle to release Christmas songs by established artists who were known all across Canada, and then to include some people who were never in the studio to be part of the project. And now they are going for a ride with these established artists. The album is mailed to all country music radio stations right across Canada, and now they're being heard across Canada.
We sold over the 7 albums that were released. We sold just shy of 100,000 albums. When the radio series with CKBY ended, Christmas in the Valley didn't. People did not want to just leave it rest and call it a done deal. They wanted another Christmas in the Valley album.
I mean, the perfect example is when you had your Monster Jamboree, the Gatineau Unplugged. I couldn't believe I was out there singing along with 12,000 people, singing Christmas in the Valley in the middle of August. Come on.
That was a wonderful moment.
They knew the words, because it was their song.
They were finding me in the phone book. They were finding me wherever on the street and asking about Christmas in the Valley. When are you putting out another Christmas in the Valley album? And this was going on and on. And for 4 or 5 years, I just listened to that starting in about October. And then the pressure went all the way through, right through till December, people asking for that album again. So I finally decided to record another Christmas in the Valley album. My album, in other words, a solo album for the first time. We had done pretty well all the regional artists in the Christmas in the Valley run. The one dream I had was still to release a solo Christmas album. I realized that the song that I had not completed was mine for completing now. And I just sat down and decided to write the back half. But now this is like 10 years apart from the first time I wrote the song, and I had to pick up the guitar and literally figure out in the middle verse, well, what are all the things that I didn't say? And I thought, and again, the same magical thing happened. It just came like candlelight and hearts aglow, the silent dance of falling snow, familiar songs on what was then CKBY radio. That's Christmas in the Valley. And then I thought, in every town the church bells ring, in every home a young child dreams, in every heart the Spirit sings, it's Christmas in the Valley. That's when the song was complete. The whole song Christmas in the Valley is so special to me for so many reasons. You know, the fact that it celebrates Christmas year after year and gives so much back to the community, to the Children's Hospital, the Christmas Exchange, cystic fibrosis. Isn't that what Christmas is all about? Isn't it just about giving?
Wayne, tell us what this is all about. You recorded a very special CD. We talked about it on the Christmas Cheer broadcast in December. And a very special CD this year called Wayne Rostad's Christmas in the Valley. And it was sold at Mac's convenience stores, a couple of other locations as well. And it did very well.
Well, we are here today because we are very, very happy that the gift which is Christmas, just keeps on giving. Christmas in the Valley is happy to announce that we have a total of $30,000 to distribute with amongst the 3 charities. So
all right.
We're going to have a group hug after, okay?
CHEO is 30 years old this year. Serves the children and youth of Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec from birth to 18 years of age, and bilingually. And the staff at the hospital are phenomenal. They're dealing not only with the children and everything they deal with. I mean, there's 200 patients a day going through emergency. But the staff that treats those patients are also dealing with parents and caregivers. And so they have to be very special to look after not only the child, but whoever the caregiver is, because that caregiver will very often, 99% of the time, would much prefer to be in that bed and have their child be at home or someplace else, out playing baseball or swimming or whatever it happens to be. So it's a big job that the staff has, and they perform it well.
So Norma, we all know about the great work that CHEO does right through the year here in our community, but tell us your reaction at getting this big check for the CHEO Foundation.
Oh, it's phenomenal. We've been friends with Wayne for a long time. He has been very generous to CHEO over the years. He hosts the telethon and has hosted the telethon for 20 years. We're going to our 21st year, and always happy when he comes back. We've been the beneficiaries of the Gatineau Clog, from Christmas in the Valley in the early days, again, along with Mac's convenience stores. So he's been a good friend of the children and youth at CHEO for a very long time, and we continue to be grateful to him for all he does for the kids.
Oh, thank you, Norma.
The Christmas Exchange has been in operation since 1915. And the CFRA has had a Christmas cheer broadcast for over 50 years now. It goes a long way towards helping fill our mandate, which is to provide a Christmas dinner for families in need at Christmas time. In the past years, well actually for the past several years, we've managed to arrange for over 20,000 families, or at least 20,000 dinners to be delivered to singles and families and shut-ins and people in need. And it's a struggle every year to raise money. And to have Wayne come with, not only with his wonderful personality and the assistance he gives us in all other projects, but to actually raise money himself and share it with the Christmas Exchange is a wonderful thing, and we're most appreciative.
Bill, what does this mean for the Christmas Exchange?
Well, $10,000 will go a long way to help us in our annual campaign. Just off the top, I would say that this could easily provide us with 100 hampers to go out to families in need, or even to 200 families where we give coupons to be used for groceries for Christmas dinner. It goes a long way.
We started way back in 1985. It sounds like a long time ago. It is a long time ago. It's almost 20 years. Wayne approached us and said that he and a group of the local Valley singers had got together to produce an album, and would we be willing to distribute in our stores? And would we be willing to participate in producing the record in terms of funding and so on? So I remember sitting in a room with the folks from CKBY, Wayne Rostad, and we talked about it. And we actually put up $10,000 and said we would guarantee $10,000 for the sale of this album, in terms of making it happen. And we were the sole distributor, so it was kind of interesting. We had a whole pile of tapes sent to our office, and then we sent them out to our stores, and we had a lot of success. In fact, I think the first year we sold out, we raised a few $1,000s for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, and we continued to do it year after year, and I think it was 6 years that we did it, and it was a marvelous success.
So we have $30,000 here, and Mark, I'm going to give the one from cystic fibrosis to Naleen, because this one he's going to hand to Wally on behalf of cystic fibrosis. It is Mac's
Charity of Choice.
Charity of Choice,
Right.
And they helped so wonderfully in the distribution of our product all throughout the valley, and so that's why a big part of that thanks goes to the Max people.
It means an awful lot. There's two real fronts where the money is used. The main one is research. There are about 3,300 Canadians still alive with cystic fibrosis, and there's 150 families right in the Ottawa area. And the CF research that's being done, and Canada, I should say, is a leader in CF research, is someday going to make it easier for those young people and young adults to breathe easier, to live normal and healthy lives. Right now, the life expectancy in Canada is about 36 years, and Canada is about the best country in the world in terms of life expectancy with CF.
And Wally, tell us about what cystic fibrosis is doing here in Ottawa and how this money can help.
There's chapters all across Canada that support CF research. There's about 3,300 people in Canada with CF. That sounds like a lot, but if you consider the fact that there would normally be about 15,000 if the condition wasn't the largest genetic killer of young people in Canada. And Canada is a leader in CF research. We discovered the gene in 1989, and this money will go towards more research that will put us a lot of days closer to the cure control, so that someday the young children, men and women with CF will be able to live more normal and healthy lives.
We challenge our supporters to make a difference in the lives of the children and youth at CHEO. And that's what this money does. It will help buy equipment, it will fund research, it will help buy the games and the books and the toys that make a difference in the lives of the kids, make their stay just a little bit more pleasant. So it funds some programs. It makes a big difference to what we're doing at CHEO.
We really enjoy the fact that we can also raise money for charities, and all our proceeds, we make no money on it at all. Cystic fibrosis being our charity of choice, will gain the benefits from the sale of this album.
When the cystic fibrosis is not going to be something that kills you, it'll be something that you used to have. That means an awful lot.
It's a struggle every year to raise money, and to have Wayne come with, not only with his wonderful personality and the assistance he gives us in all other projects, But to actually raise money himself and share it with the Christmas Exchange is a wonderful thing, and we're most appreciative.
Well, Wayne, congratulations once again, and thank you for all you're doing for the community, especially today. Must feel nice to give away $30,000.
It feels wonderful to give it away. It's Christmas. It's the spirit of giving. This is like, March, and hello, we just gave another 30 away, and I love it. Look at the smiles on these faces. I know this is the right thing and a good thing. One of my all-time favorite Christmases was the year that my son and I, he is a 7-year-old, experienced Christmas in the Gatineau Hills in a small one-room cabin where we had gone to spend Christmas Eve and wake up because Santa was going to come there because he knows where you are. So Josh wouldn't go to sleep. He was so excited. And I said, if you don't go to sleep, Santa is not going to come. You have to go to sleep. It was 2:30 in the morning, and he was so excited. There was nowhere to hide. I mean, we're in a one-room cabin. So finally, he did One of my all-time favorite Christmases was the year that my son and I, he is a 7-year-old, experienced Christmas in the Gatineau Hills in a small one-room cabin where we had gone to spend Christmas Eve and wake up because Santa was going to come there because he knows where you are. So Josh wouldn't go to sleep. He was so excited. And I said, if you don't go to sleep, Santa is not going to come. You have to go to sleep. It was 2:30 in the morning, and he was so excited. There was nowhere to hide. I mean, we're in a one-room cabin. So finally, he did nod off. Gratefully, he did. And I had gotten him a couple of things, too, you see, and I had wanted to wrap them before Santa came. And anyway, we woke up in the morning, and the cookies were gone. My son said, oh, the cookies are gone. And there was a couple of whiskers there. And he was beside himself because Santa obviously had come. Indeed he did. And then we went on about an hour and a half sleep, I think. We went on then to have our Christmas together. And that was very memorable because it was just him and I. I was a single parent, and it was just Josh and I in that cabin in the woods. And that's as close to the spirit of Christmas as you could be. I'm very proud of the Order of Canada. This is the actual, and we're very proud of it because of what the citation read. On one hand, it said, it was in two parts. The first part was for bringing Canadians to Canadians, and the back half of the citation was for charitable works in the Valley. And what is Christmas in the Valley but a charitable work for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, Christmas Exchange now, cystic fibrosis. It's, this to me is just a beautiful topping on the Christmas in the Valley story. It ties in that way. Sleigh bells ringing in the snow, kissing neath the mistletoe, out in the barn the cattle low. It's Christmas in the valley, and soon beneath the Christmas tree we'll gather with our families, love in perfect harmony. It's Christmas in the valley. Oh, the valley lights will shine so bright, and all the world will be so right. When Santa on his magic night comes to his children, there'll be sleigh bells ringing in the snow, and kissing neath the mistletoe, out in the barn the cattle low. It's Christmas in the valley. falling snow, familiar songs on the radio. That's Christmas in the valley. In every town the church bells ring. In every home a young child dreams. In every heart the Spirit sings. It's Christmas in the valley. Oh, the valley lights will shine so bright. All the world will be so right. When Santa on that magic night comes to his children, there'll be sleigh bells ringing in the snow and kissing 'neath the mistletoe. Out in the barn, the cattle low. It's Christmas in the valley. Out in the barn, the cattle low. It's Christmas in the valley. My favorite memory is the barn scene where it was time to get us ready for the shot for the album cover. That was the second album. And remember, it was July or August. It was 30 degrees. There was a crazy heat wave. And we all went up into the loft, and we sat in the loft with no clothes, just our regular shirts.
No clothes?
Just to get positioned right. Then we got dressed, and they sprayed that fake snow all on the hay bales and on the edge of the barn door.
I know. And then we went and got our winter clothes on. You had those big white mucklucks.
Yeah.
And I had a fur coat on, I remember, and some sort of pink thing on my neck. And oh my gosh, I was dying of the heat. It was.
You know
so
what I was
hot.
wearing in that shot? I was wearing a coat that was given to me by the Inuit. I was wearing this long
muckluck?
Parka, yeah, kind of a parka that you'd wear if you were riding in a Cometech. That's what I had on.
Oh, it was great. It was really so much fun. And then we broke from that and had a barbecue.
When we first went to Snowcan.
Yeah, that was the first. That was first.
Yeah, the little studio, Snowcan,
Yeah.
and we were live
Dave
off the floor.
Yeah, and that was the best one in a lot of ways because of that. You know,
Special.
it was really special.
We would stand there and record from beginning to end. If there was a mistake, we had to start again. And everybody was just, oh gosh, please, I don't want to make a mistake. And we didn't.
No,
we had one or two takes and bang,
it was honest.
we were gone.
It was honest. You got what you got.
honest.
Like what we're going to do now is Christmas in the Valley Unplugged, and you get what you get.
You get what you get.
Joe, count
unfortunately.
count us in, pull the plug, count us in, and this is the way it goes. This is it.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Sleigh bells ringing in the snow, kissing 'neath the mistletoe. Out in the barn, the cattle low. It's Christmas in the valley. And soon beneath the Christmas tree, we'll gather with our families, love in perfect harmony. It's Christmas in the valley. Oh, the valley lights are gonna shine so bright. All the world will be so right. When Santa on that magic night comes to his children, there'll be sleigh bells ringing in the snow, kissing 'neath the mistletoe. Out in the barn, the cattle low. It's Christmas in the valley. Christmas, now candlelight and hearts aglow. The silent and chance of falling snow, familiar songs on the radio. That's Christmas in the valley. In every town the church bells ring, in every home a young child dreams, in every heart the Spirit sings. It's Christmas in the valley. Oh, the valley lights will shine so bright, all the world will be so right. When Santa on that magic night comes to his children, there'll be sleigh bells ringing in the snow, and kissing neath the mistletoe. Out in the barn the cattle roam. It's Christmas in the valley. Out in the barn the cattle roam. It's Christmas in the valley. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.